when I started my business, one of my biggest mistakes that I made, I actually had an emotional attachment to my business. That was my mistake number one. And one of the reasons why I had this emotional attachment to my business, you see, I grew up poor. There was no way I would have been a CA if it was not for non-profit organization. People like PET, who does a lot of giving money away to students. So when the previous speaker, Cash Flow, was saying student that had that and that, I look at low like, oh, I'm guilty. Because I was so lucky that I was that child that I got bursaries and be able to get here. So when I was okay, I didn't need to work. I then thought I need to go back to my community and start helping. And one of the ways that I thought I was going to help was to actually dedicate my time. So I started actually picking up, I stay in Fourways, so I went to Diepsloot. I selected certain NPOs that had youth. I started working and helping and volunteering. And then as I'm going through this, I said to myself, they need to have a structure. I need to set them up, having administration. Maybe I can start a company that can actually train accountants and administrators to help this non-profit organization because I can run that. Do you see? So I'm converting my emotional attachment, my own issues to the business. Guess what? 3 years down the line, I had 34 rand 67 cents and 100,000 rand in debt. A CA. I started business, reading or understanding business since I was 14. So I'm saying to you, if I made that mistake, what chances do you have? You do have a chance because maybe the way I was taught is what he was explaining in Cash Flow here. We're taught to be employee. We are not taught to run on your own. So, but the other thing that I picked up, it was one, the emotional attachment to it, but two, one of the things I'm going to cover here that I'm going to just show you for a few minutes. Let me go through that. So all I'm saying to you, it takes a lot to actually be able to run a profitable business. It's not as easy as you think it is. And if you think you ran to a space of entrepreneurship because you can't be employed, and when you're employed, by the way, when you're an employee, there's one box they have to tick. I promise you there's one box they will tick. Can he do the job? Whereas when you're an entrepreneur, they're going to have to check at least a minimum of 7 boxes when they are actually checking your business. All the functions. Does it understand human resources impact? Does it understand operation? Does it understand investment? Does it understand this? That is why I'm saying it's very tough. Be prepared to work hard, but we'll be guiding you through that. Okay, I'll cover just that. So one of the things I said earlier is that the way our education is structured is we are taught, our education is taught to be an employee. All those things that, by the way, this was, let's just go back a little bit. I just wanted to jump quick. When you look at that, this was my classes. Remember, I'm a specialist, I'm doing business. So these were mine, so business economics, I studied tax, I studied accounting, economics and so on, and obviously English and maths. But when these things are being taught, they are taught in isolation. But when you have to make a decision, my friend, you have to consider all of those in one transaction, no matter how small the amount of the transaction. The next one, marketing, operations, and sales. Do you see now I've moved away from my own faculty, which is basically in finance and business. I'm moving to the ones that are more support structures of that business. Marketing, operations, and sales, and human resources. In our education system, we are taught those again in isolation. When you're an entrepreneur, you have to be thinking about those every day. You're just one person, eh? One man show. All I'm trying to say also is that in addition to that, majority of those business, economics, accounting, they were built in 1880s. where factors of production were the core for you to run a business. If that was the case, therefore we wouldn't have Uber. Uber businesses are created without factors of production. But the way you think, you still think in terms of factors of production. And that is why when I work around and help entrepreneurs, all of them, when they see me, hey Precious, tax clearances, hey, EPE certificate, hey sis, I need financial statements, hey sis, I'm funding. You're not gonna get funding, let me say that clear. She's not gonna give you the money. Or Aman is not gonna give you the money because you just don't understand basic principles. What is happening in the world right now? Economy, the world. The biggest economy in the world, which is Americans, they're struggling with unemployment. They're having so many graduates and people who actually are highly qualified, but they can't find jobs. The economies cannot absorb people in employment. What is happening in our country? We can't manage the unemployment. We actually have something which they call a triple effect. Unemployment, it's inequality. There's another one, I think. What is the last one? We don't have economists here. There's three. It's unemployment. Poverty, yeah. Oh, yeah, I don't know why poverty. I guess it's because I hardly think about poverty. No, it's not even in my head. Subconsciously, in my head, there is no poverty. Anyway, so all I'm trying to say, right now in South Africa, we have 17 million of people that depend on a government. We're sitting on a time bomb. I sit on about 7 entities in the country, including national departments, as an audit committee. I've been doing it for 11 years. Everything has been streamed to practically to the bones to try to get the money to fund fees must fall. We're funding people whom we can't even place for jobs. And this is why we have unemployment. And anyway, with all that gloom, let's go to why we're here. One of the key challenges the SMME have, they have inadequate planning, insufficient funds, lack of management experience, poor location, poor inventory, cash flow, and so on and so on. I mean, those reports are coming from all these people, Capital Small, I think Standard Bank also funded that project. Another one was coming from Cycle Reports. That was just highlighting different problems. All I've done, I've just added the top that kept on appearing in those reports. It's those top 10. I'm sure some of you can identify in your own business. How many can you find that are yours in that list? 5? 4. Okay, let's move on to the next one. How many can you find? All of above? No, at some point in my business it was all of above, but yeah. So, what we have found as a fundamental and mindset, which is also talks to what Pat was talking about, has been we start business without solving a problem. When I was on Alex FM in the morning on Mondays, I used to say, no more 3 C's. Construction, catering, and cleaning service. Enough, we are clean. Enough, we have constructed enough. Serious. Anyway, we are not solving a problem. Our products and services are supposed to solve a problem. But the problem must affect a lot of people. Or it must pay a lot of money. That person must pay a lot of money to get rid of the problem. So, and that is going to give you the sales you want. You also have to know who you're selling to. Some of you will say, I'm in construction. Then I say, what are you constructing? I do road, I do houses. Okay, first of all, by understanding the profession, yes, we can do both, but we're just one man. Remember what I said? And then the person goes, no, and then I say, okay, if you're in construction, you're constructing, where is who's your target market? Oh, that's it, I've lost them. You see, when you don't know who your target market, you're also not going to know where to find them. Know who is already solving that problem, your competitors, and what is their weaknesses. You can't come to the market and think you're gonna sell exactly the same. It's almost like, I actually don't even go to Devon anymore, because if I go to Devon, I'm gonna get so irritated. It's exactly the same. It's about 34 days. Has anyone gone to Devon? Has anyone don't know Devon? Exactly. It's everywhere. Everywhere. You're selling exactly what the next person is selling. Why should I come to your store? Ladies and gentlemen, I run a lot of training and programs. We're really in trouble, but I'm off of you if I can give you those pointers for you to prepare to answer some questions. That is what any investor, or to qualify for what Pat called as, he called it capital, he's called it capital what?
Respect.
How to attract capital, but he called it capital worth of some sort. So, how to earn the respect. If you can answer those questions to those investors, I promise you, we are halfway there. We are halfway there. You know where to find your customer, and you'll do that by doing customer profile. Who knows what a customer profile is? You're fast asleep. I knew it. After eating, you never give them food until you have training. Okay, look at what I said there. Why you? Why should we buy from you? Your unique selling proposition and your credibility. Some of you are running in businesses, you have no credibility, no experience, no qualification, and you're not willing to do the work. Willing to do the work is to work under a shadow of someone who has done it so that you can learn, even if it's for free. Okay, did I just switch it off? Sorry. Okay, our financial program is based on the book that I'm going to try to circulate. I didn't bring so many copies, but those who don't have, we are circulating a flyer. One of the person is assisting. If you don't have a flyer, please let us know. Is everyone got a flyer so that you can be able to follow through? Everyone has? Right at the back. I am Gela. Will you please help me right at the back? Okay, so I'm not going to go through in detail of it. I'm just going to name one. Set your financial goal. Every day when you're waking up in the morning, that is the first thing you should think. What is my financial goal? And for me, it's 7 million. I don't know what is yours. Next one, what structure do I have to think about that is going to actually expand? That's going to help me to scale up my business. Number 3, what is the obligation that comes with this structure based on the financial goal that I want to achieve? 4, what are the financial concepts do I actually need to understand? Lebo was talking about lots of things, return on investment, discounting rate, but you're not going to get to that complexity yet if you don't even know what's the impact of interest rate. If you don't know what's a foreign exchange rate impacting on your input cost, because you don't know the difference between your input cost and your output cost. Key role players, this one made me cry. By the way, I wrote this book from pure frustration. I was tired of people asking me for a tax clearance. I'm an auditor, I've stayed more than 10 years at school, and they are coming to me with the bookkeeping issues. Please, the tax clearance. You know, so that's why that one is very personal. I'm trying to distinguish the difference between a bookkeeper, accountant, and the audit. You know, I'm the audit, I'm not the bookkeeper. Financial systems and control. On that one, I'm trying to help you to set up the systems, and then the last one is the financial evaluation, where you are reading your financial statements. That's the book I had my mentor, I didn't even greet him, Alon, who actually did a forward for me, and the book has actually sold over 4,000 copies, and we distributed about 5,000 copies. So, and that is one of them. Okay, don't need to cover that. I told you I'm a busy, I've got ADHD. I'm a busy woman. So the book got features, and by the way, we did not have PR or advertising, but we got all that coverage. It's about solving a problem. Just remember that. We got those raving that. Okay, I'm gonna just finish quick. So for me, I think the biggest issue we have in our country right now, we have more than half of the nation that is not economy active. And that it's even worse when they are active, they're not making money. There are entrepreneurs here that have been running 3-4 years, not one transaction. The day nothing. Someone was asking me, Precious, what happened to the auditing? I said, there was nothing to audit. Serious, there was nothing to audit. There were no documents. You don't know your obligation. You didn't even know what documents to keep for me to even construct the financial statements. So for me, my ultimate goal, one thing that makes me not sleep at night, even when I'm passing through William Nicol where I stay, and look at a person who has the same child, same as my age, that moves me is we need to live in a country where all citizens are active in the economy, and that is financial inclusion. Because if we do not have that, my children are always going to be looking at their shoulder. Who's going to come with a gun to get my car, or take this or take that? Did I do that again? Okay, so after I did the book, people still didn't understand. And again, we South Africans don't read. Let me say this. If you have a job, you can afford not to read. If you're an entrepreneur, you don't read at least 10 pages a day, every day, you're screwed. You've already lost. I then built this program, which is Finance Success Model, that mainly focuses on those, on the stage 1, 2, 3. Ladies and gentlemen, the problems are so big on the stage. I'm still stuck in there. I have not developed problems above, because we need to be able to lift the people from the foundation to efficiency and effectiveness, but we can't because there's not enough quality ideas. Our problems in our community are not solved because we are not dealing with those issues. You have this flyer with you that will explain. I have given you the flower rate of what our program is about. I was running this program, just to give you a background, for 3 days. And I started running. Some of you were asking me, am I still running them free? No, I'm not. But it was supposed to be 3 days. But when I went to the entrepreneurs, the level of literacy was so low, and a lack of understanding was so low. It's now 10 days. Yeah, it started with 10 modules, it's now 20 modules. It's so bad. But anyway, you have the flyer, you can read that at your own time. And my clients, those are my clients who are actually supporting me on Finance Success. Yeah, Standard Bank is my client. And if you have any questions, I will try to distribute the book, and I will try by all means to see if I can bring more copies for those who are here today, tomorrow. And thank you, Lebo, for allowing me the opportunity. Those are my contact details. Please go and sign up in Finance Success website, that website which is the program that you have on your flyers. We do get sponsored sometime on these programs. So we are always looking for entrepreneurs that want to learn financial literacy, want to understand business, and really all we're trying to do in that course, we are integrating information for the entrepreneur. When they think, they don't think in silos. They don't think the way they were taught. They think that everything that I'm doing actually has to be systematic. And that's me. Thank you, Lebo.
Let's give a big round of applause, guys. Let's give a big round of applause.